what to use it for.
I don't know.
What to use?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Noelle, and today I'm joined by Mel, otherwise known as Miss Rewrite and Rock. I featured a lot of products on her channel before. If you've seen my previous video, I did a little haul from her. She has a little metaphysical shop where she sells little witchy items. So today I wanted to show you all how to use a pendulum. I'm gonna get back to the basics today and show you all how to do that if you are new to pendulums, new to witchy things, new to divination. We're gonna answer some commonly asked questions about pendulums and show you 2 different ways you can learn. So, basics. What can you use as a pendulum? She sells pendulums in her shop. They come in all different shapes, sizes, crystals, items. If you can't afford a pendulum or you can't access to one, then you can use some other things as a pendulum. One of the ways I've literally used it, because I just couldn't find a pendulum, was I just used a necklace. Yeah. This has a little bit of weight to it. It's a crystal, but if you have a pennant of some kind on a chain,
even a charm on a bracelet, you just want like one though, and you want the heaviest one, or like a weight, essentially. Some people are known to use a paper clip on a string or a button. I like something with a little bit more weight to it, but it's up to you. In a pinch, anything with a string and a little item on the end will work.
We'll show you some more close-ups of these guys, but we just wanted to show you all some different shapes so that they come in.
That's a Merkaba Orgon. I've got a faceted, this is a teardrop shape faceted quartz pendulum.
And this is just like your basic point.
Aquamarine, serpentine, and shungite. So I have a ton more in the shop, but these were just, they had good contrast for making this video.
The first way, pretty simple. We wanted to show you all how to use it with a mat. We have 2 different ones here. Do you want to explain what you carry in your shop, Mel, and kind of the basics of mat?
Okay. Yeah. So I carry both of these mats. This one is the Tree of Life mat. And the second one has like an empty square in the center. So if you were asking a question, we'll use a love question for example. It's just an example. But if you were asking a specific question, you could put an item, for example, rose quartz, in the center of the mat and amplify the energies, focus the energies when you're asking a question.
Yeah, a lot of times you do divination practices, any kind, tarot cards, you know, scrying, whatever. You use crystals kind of amplify and cleanse the energies of the room.
Some people like to use a mat for beginners because it very clearly shows you your yes, no, maybe, will not answer, rephrase and try again. And it's very clear, so as you're practicing, it goes straight to your answer. There's another method we'll teach you in a minute, and you'll understand why some people would prefer the mat.
First step in using the pendulum. Have your arm that is steady. I like to put mine like when you're starting, maybe put your arm on like a table or something, so you're not moving your arm. Just ask something basic. One of the first questions you just ask something you know the answer to. So, is my name Noelle? The pendulum should swing to yes. So for me, yes, it is swinging to the yes.
Is the sky blue?
Yeah, is the sky blue?
Yes, it is.
If you want to test the no or a maybe.
The sky yellow?
Yeah, is the sky yellow? It should go to the no.
So I'm getting a small answer. It is going to no, but it's kind of small, so if I want it to be bigger, I can ask for that. Could you give me a more defined no? And immediately it picked up a stronger signal.
Yeah. If you have a shorter string, it will be more steady. I think if you have a longer string, I think it's going to be more sensitive to the movements in your body.
Natural energy?
Yeah, your natural energy, I suppose. That's literally it for how to use a mat. That's
why they're so popular.
Yeah, that's why she sells them in her beginner kits. She does sell beginner kits, so if you don't have a pendulum or know how to use it, she does sell a mat, a pendulum,
a little bit of pendulums to show you how to get started.
Going towards the second way to use it, this is how we learned. To use your hand as a focus point. That's what you're doing with your hand, is using it as a focus point for your energy. And you're going to take your pendulum. You need to know what direction does yes mean, because you don't have a mat or something underneath it to show where the yes or no or maybe is. So you need to ask your pendulum, what is my personal yes? It's going to be different for everyone. If I ask, show me yes, for me, yes is going in circles. For Mel, hers is a back and forth. So it's kind of interesting that we have opposite ones. Because I thought when I first used it, it would be the same as hers, but it's not. So once you get a clear movement, then you can maybe ask, you know, show me no. Mine goes back and forth, hers is a circle. And then, you know, going forward, you can ask, you know, show me maybe. So for me, maybe is diagonal. If your pendulum doesn't move at first, that just means it might not be used to you, if it's a new pendulum to you, or if you've never used one. Mine didn't move for about 5 minutes. It might even take longer for you. Don't get disgruntled or, you know, feel like you're not doing it right. It's like a muscle. Like
I think 5 minutes is probably average because you are essentially tapping into an energy, or it's like using a muscle for the first time, and you want to be open-minded and receptive, and you want to be grounded. And you gotta be patient because if you've never done it before, it's gonna take a few minutes. But you gotta just sit with it and be committed to it.
They all have their own little personalities. Some of them move really big, some of them move very small, you know, so it just really depends. So once you really connect with one, you practice using it with some basic questions you know the answer to, then it should move to the appropriate answer for you. Right. So now that you know how to use your pendulum, here's some commonly asked questions that you get as a pendulum seller.
Really, when you're trying to choose what the material is it's made of, I would just go with what you're intuitively drawn to. You can choose based on what your question's going to be, unless you're like me and you want to collect an army of pendulums. That would be a lot. So like if you're asking a question about love, you might reach for serpentine or rose quartz. The little conical point shape is pretty standard. When people use a Merkaba, that's more sacred geometry, and that's a whole other subject. And then the faceted teardrop, it could be just personal preference, but they do come in an Egyptian style, and they also come in a chamber where you can put something inside of them. So there's lots of styles. I mostly focus on having a wide variety of crystals that they're made of.
You don't have to use a specific crystal, shape, size, color, whatever for your question. In our personal opinions,
go with what you're drawn to.
Yeah, you know, you don't need a million pendulums to find out your answer. No. in our opinion.
No, the pendulum is not always correct, because if you have a bias, it will read and interpret your bias. So if you're asking a question in the back of your mind, you're already answering that question, then your pendulum is going to reflect that answer. So it's really important to clear your mind and be open and receptive, and not think about what you want the answer to be. If you really want a pure answer.
When you get more skilled with using a pendulum, it might swing towards what your bias would be or what you want the answer to be.
Right, because you could make a decision that changes the course of your future. So no, like any other divination practice, it is not always going to be correct.
So if you ask, well, I get married next September. Well, you know, sometimes circumstances can change where you have to put it off. Things happen, you know.
You might change your mind about old boy or girl.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Or, you know, Corona happens.
That could indicate interference. So it could be that you need to cleanse your space. You could have outside energy. You could have literal energy. It could be a field or something that you're in. There could be someone interfering, because you're essentially you are channeling. You're tapping into either your higher self or your guides, or you're tapping into your intuition, whatever you want to call it, or even who you specifically are speaking with. Like if I'm talking to a guide, I can say I want to speak with this guide, and they have an indication on my hand of which one I'm speaking with. So you can tune into a specific individual, or just ask to speak with your higher self. So when it's vibrating, you could be receiving interference between you and whoever it is that you're trying to speak to.
Something is interfering with you channeling your answer.
Yeah. To get around that, you could try a different space. You could cleanse your space. You also need to ground and center yourself and make sure you're clear and you're focused on your session.
Okay. So Melissa sells beginner kits on her website. So that includes a mat.
A standard kit comes with the Tree of Life pendulum mat, a faceted quartz pendulum,
and a little beginner book. And you know, one of the great things I love about this book, it does come with these different type of ways you can use your pendulum. For example, this is meditation and relaxation methods. It gives you a chart so you don't have to make it. Again, you can make your own chart. You don't have to have a mat. You can have a piece of paper. You want to ask about love or something. You can make your own. It's got life improvements, divination methods that you should use, such as tarot, pendulum, runes, an alphabet circle if you want to.
Perfect. I was just going to talk about that.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, we try to make one.
I tried to make one. I never leave enough room for the letters in the circle. However you want. You can put whatever you want as your choices, and your pendulum can go and indicate the answer. Some of the things that I use a pendulum for is like choosing a supplement or trying to make a decision between one item and another, and it can indicate your yes or no, or even swing towards the one that's better, the option that's better for you.
Ways I use it is to pick a crystal, which I mentioned and I show you how to do that in my how to choose your first crystal video, which I link in the bio and up here somewhere. Sometimes when I watch tarot readings on YouTube, pick a card. Use a pendulum, man.
Yeah.
Pick a deck.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? I put my little phone. I put my little phone screen, and it will circle around the one that's.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, and it will tell me if there's more than one deck, because some readers do like 10 little decks, and so it will go to that.
I use it when people buy like a crystal and they don't specify which one they want, and I've got a whole bunch of the same one. I'll lay them out and I'll do the same thing. Like, is this the right one for whoever it is that purchased the crystal?
Exactly. I'll pick crystals out for my friends or something with pendulum too.
And they usually love them.
Yeah, that's Pendulums 101 for you all. If you like this video, give me a like, comment down below. It really does help my video get out into the algorithm. And subscribe if you want to stay, and check Mel out on her socials. If you have any questions about pendulums, leave them down below. We can answer them there or do a follow-up video if you guys are still confused. And we will catch you all in the next video. Bye.